Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to show you how to do some chord inversions, which is going to do a lot for making it easy for you to go between different chords in a variety of ways that'll be a lot easier for the piano player than actually picking up your hand and finding the new location every time. So I'm going to use the key of C, all of the white keys, which we've talked about in past videos. So if me saying the key of C and me saying that that means all of the white keys are in play, then make sure to go and check out previous videos, as well as the fact I'm going to start by explaining this with the 1-5-6 chord progression that is super popular in pop music, and I'm going to use that as a basis for explaining this concept. So if you're unfamiliar with that, check it out. It should have been the very first video on the channel. So to remind everyone, the 1-5-6-4 chord progression which is the backbone of thousands of songs as shown by the band Axis of Awesome and their song 4 Chords. There's no such thing as originality in music. Someone has done everything that you think you might do, so just get over the fact that you'll play 1-5-6-4 at some point, either on your own or with your band, and you're going to think it sounds really cool. A million other people have done that too. It doesn't make you less genuine as a musician, okay? But it's not always convenient to play these chords with one voicing, meaning in one spot. So this is a G, but I don't always want to go up to an A up here. Maybe I'm trying to get a moodier A minor, okay? And then back to the F, which is a good sort of resolution chord before we go back to the 1. So what you'll see is actually, as we've covered, these notes repeat every 8 notes, which is actually called an octave, okay? Oct is obviously refers to 8. That's why October is the 10th month. Just don't think about it. But oct means that we have these 8 notes where every key repeats in about this width on the keyboard. So if I want to play an A minor all the way up here, I'm playing this I'm playing a G. If I want to play this A minor all the way up here, I'm playing an A, a C, and an E. And those 3 notes are what makes it an A minor, not the fact that our thumb is on the A, okay? So I have an A, a C, and an E. But we might remember there's an E right here. So if I play an A and a C, and then this E, aren't I still playing an A minor? Right? And you can probably hear, even if you have an untrained ear, this does sound a lot like that, okay? These are the same note, they're just at different octaves. So what that means is if I do a first inversion of an A minor, I just play an E with my thumb, and then the top 2 notes stay the same. So I still have this A and this C, but now I'm playing the E down here. And hopefully you're thinking through this, well, there's a C right here. So if I play this C and this E, and then this A, isn't that still an A minor? And the answer is yes. When you have a key, when you have a chord, so a C major for example, the only chord that uses this exact combination of 3 notes and only these 3 notes is the C major. So if I decide, well, I don't want to play this G, I like how it sounds more with this G versus, then you get to make that decision as the pianist. You can grab the C and then the E and G, and you can actually have the C as the highest note in your chord. Okay, this is true of any chord. So when you find the 3 notes, major or minor, C major, A minor, that make up that chord, you can play those 3 notes anywhere on the board. I mean, strictly speaking, if I were playing an A all the way down here, and then this C, and then this E up here, it's actually really hard to reach those notes. But, all right, that's a bad example. If I'm playing this A, this E, and these Cs, I'm still playing an A minor. It's the same as if I was playing them all grouped together. It's just that you get a different what's called voicing out of that chord. So this is why on guitar, for example, there are a million different places that you can play a G, you can play it inverted, but you're always playing the same notes in that chord. So no matter what, if I'm playing a C major, doesn't matter if it's here, or here, or here, or here. It's always a C major. And even if you were to add in, let's say, 2 E's, okay? So now you're like, well, I've got, or 2 G's. So now I've got 2 G's, 1 C and 1 E. Shouldn't this be like a G something? And the answer is no, it's actually still a C major, because the nature of that chord is that it's composed of those 3 notes, a C, an E, and a G, which means I get to pick any C, E, and G to play it. So for the 1, 4, 6, 5, we've been doing in almost every video, C, C, G, G, forgive my singing, A minor, F. You can play C, C, but then you can just do this for your G. Okay, you can leave the pinky where it is on the G, and you were just playing C, E, G. Now we want to play B, D, G, because if you were playing here, you're playing G, B, D. All right, so I'm here at the C, da, da, and I want to play G. I'm going to leave my pinky alone. It's actually going to anchor me there so I know where I am. C, C, G, G. And again, your A minor is right here. You have the choice. You could slide that whole shape that you were just using for your G up 1 note, and you're playing this A with this C and E. Or, you know, you're here C, C, G, G. You could go down and make the same as the initial C shape, and you could play this A minor. So it really doesn't matter if you're doing C, C, G, G, A minor up here, or C, C, G, G, A minor down here. It doesn't matter, okay? And this is where, as the pianist, you get to be creative. As a guitarist, as a musician, as anyone, you get to be creative because you start noticing how playing the same chords in the same pattern but with different voicings sort of sounds different. It gives the chords different flair, okay? So you're doing a C, C, a G, G, and this would be considered G second inversion because you've taken the G and you've made it the highest note in your chord. And then you can play an A minor, second inversion, or you could play A minor, first inversion if you really want to. But so the most common one that I like to do when I just sit down and I'm warming up is I'll play C in its root position with the C note, the root note, as the lowest note. And then I'll do a G second inversion. And then I'll walk it up 1 note and do an A minor second inversion. And then the really cool thing about this is you can bring it back to an F, and all you did was switch which one of these 2 notes you play, because an A minor second inversion is using this A up here and then this C and E, but then an F first inversion is using an F as the second note in the chord. So you have F, A, and then C, okay? So it's actually really cool how little has to change between an A minor, let's say, and an F major, when you understand that what's really important is you get the 3 notes that are in that chord. So I need a C, an E, and a G to play a C major. And then I need a G, a B, and a D to play a G major. But if I'm coming from a C major, I'm saying, okay, I need to get one of these, and one of these. It'd be a lot easier if I could go from here to here than if I have to go from here all the way up to my thumb being where my pinky just was. Whereas when I'm on here, I can do basically no hand movement. I can just stay there and sort of rock around my pinky with that kind of as an anchor point, and then I can slide up 1, and then I can sort of rock around that middle note. And all of a sudden you have this really just powerful okay, so obviously a little flare there at the end. But now you just have this really powerful tool for understanding there are so many ways to play a chord. We started with the very basic key of C shape that you're going to make everywhere. But we've talked about how actually to make a major chord, like a D major, you skip 3 notes in a major triad and then 2 notes in a minor triad. Which means this D major is made up of a D, an F sharp or G flat, and then an A. So those 3 notes mean that I can come up here and find the same chord, or I can come up here and I can find the same chord. So just by understanding that all root chords boil down to those 3 basic notes that are making up that shape, the 1, 3, and 5 technically. So essentially those 3 notes are what are making up any chord, and as long as you play those 3 notes anywhere on the board, you're playing that chord. Okay? So I hope you found this video useful. I hope you've been finding this channel useful and informative and enjoying the content. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see more of on the channel, and be sure to let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video. It helps me out a ton. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, good luck with your playing. Bye.